Well, hello everyone. How are you guys? I get to come to you live today to talk about meat. Meat, beef, and why where you get your meat from is so important. And interesting information about grass-fed and regenerative farming. And I'm going to bring on Carrie from Richard's Grass-Fed Beef. Carrie is a fourth generation rancher at Richard's Regenerative Ranch. And she has an incredible story to share with us about meat. But I want you guys to stay tuned in because it's so important to just understand the why behind quality meat and the differences. And so let me bring on Carrie and let's get this party started, okay? Let's see. I think I accepted your request. Let's see. There she is.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you for making me upgrade my phone. We can talk
I forgot about that
online.
last time. I honestly completely forgot until you just said that. It happened like two more times that week. It wasn't just you. It was like an upgrade
Oh,
that like everybody needed.
yeah.
But you taught me that the next time it happened, I was like, oh, you need to upgrade. So anyway, hi.
Thank you
Well, it's
for
nice to,
having me.
yeah, I'm happy to have you. I want to talk about the amazing meat that you guys have. Love my husband's a big, he likes to, he's got a Traeger and he likes to smoke meats and we grill
Oh, yeah.
all the time. And yeah, we really are enjoying Richard's grass-fed beef. So thank you.
Yeah.
But tell us about your farm, and I want to know what regenerative farming is too. Like I want the details on all this.
Okay. So we are based out in California. My name is
Okay.
Carrie Richards, and I'm one of the owners with my siblings to Richards Grass-Fed Beef. We are a regenerative beef source, and we're 100% grass-fed. Everyone wonders, what does regenerative
Yeah.
mean? So if you want to do it very basic, it is taking care of the soil. And what does that mean? With our grazing practices, we make sure to work with the seasonality of where our cattle are and make sure not to overgraze.
Okay.
We do a really detailed grazing management plan every year,
Wow.
and we work with all the different riparian streams and pond areas to make sure that we're not, hitting those areas too hard. That's where most of the life is.
Right.
On your property is where all the
Okay.
water sources are.
Right.
And then what we do is every year we measure our carbon, we measure our water infiltration,
Okay.
and measure our biodiversity in grasses and animals. And every year on all the properties that we get animals from, we measure, and that's through the Savory Institute.
Okay.
It's their EOV program. And
Wow.
every year we get data that says, okay, this pasture is doing great. Maybe this pasture isn't doing great. And then
Wow.
we adjust our grazing accordingly because we want to see more sequestration and more biodiversity.
Right. And so how does that all impact the quality of the meat?
So with a healthier animal, you're going to get a healthier product.
Yeah.
You're also going to get, like, if you're going to get a protein source, you want it to be from an animal that is eating the most ideal diet for their
So
body.
there. Right.
And so we are 100% grass fed, and we also do, some supplementation at certain times of year to make sure that the mamas, when they're lactating, they have proper nutrition
Yeah.
and all of those good things. Because, with the changing of the seasons, sometimes they need a little protein supplement, meaning like they need alfalfa, or in the
Yeah.
spring, maybe they need a little bit more carbs because the grass is protein in the spring.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then how'd you
Yeah.
get into the regenerative aspect? Like, was your farm always this way? I mean, these are newer
Yeah.
techniques, right? That we're studying the ground
Yeah.
with.
Well, they're
So
old techniques that we're coming back to, actually.
I love to hear that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. So
how did they measure this information back in the day? Was it just
well,
based on?
Yeah, a lot of visualize, a lot
Yeah.
of
Okay.
like, oh, look at the riparian area. It's greener longer, or this pond is staying full faster, or we're
Right.
able to manage more animals in this area. And last year we only could manage 100 animals, and this year
Right.
we could do 120. Um, but yeah, so we, I don't remember your question, but
Yeah. I was
we,
just. Yeah. Have you always been a regenerative farm?
okay.
I suppose. Yeah.
So I'm the fourth generation.
Right.
I had some late 20s, oops, I can't drink beer and eat pizza every day moments. And I had to kind of teach myself how to eat.
Yeah.
And in my research, it kept coming back to pasture-raised meats. And coming from a family that owns a ranch and grows
Yeah.
our own meat, I was
Right.
excited to at the opportunity of, oh, well, we could raise our own beef. So my siblings and I, approached my dad about it. And, it took a couple years, but we eventually started selling grass-fed beef off of our ranch. And
Oh.
we had some success because, people were buying from us because they knew where their food was coming from. That
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
big, big thing for us. So fast forward, 3 years later, we hired a salesperson and
Yeah.
started growing, and we needed more eyes on the cattle up here at the ranch. So my husband and I moved up here 5 years ago from the Bay Area,
Wow.
and we dove in head first into ranching. I grew up, coming up here because my dad
Yeah.
lived, but
Yeah.
I didn't manage the property.
No.
So it was drinking out of a fire hose.
Wow. I'm sure.
And
My gosh.
yeah, and in my research, I found regenerative, and I was
Okay.
like, this is the answer. This is the way we're doing it. And it was just like, we went for it 100% and never looked
Wow.
back, basically.
Wow. And then so slowly all your animals became grass fed, basically, right?
We were grass fed, but we just
Oh, you
weren't
were.
reaching like with that regenerative, holistic management
Gotcha.
type of management. And so I
Right.
made that switch about 4 years ago. And then we've been measuring the pastures ever since. And we've had some really good success. We're sequestering 3 times more carbon than other ranches in our area. Our
Wow.
biodiversity of perennial grasses has increased, water infiltration has increased. So we are moving in the right direction. It's really
And then
exciting.
what impact does it have on? I mean, I know obviously we want to eat meat from animals that are eating, like living their best life, if you will. Um,
Right.
what does it have for like the consumer? Like, is it less marbling, more marbling, like taste, nutrition values? Do you guys have that? Um,
Yeah, we work there's a lot more omega 3s.
yeah.
We are definitely raising a healthier animal because they're not getting put in a feedlot system, and they're definitely not eating grain and mysterious other things
Yeah,
that
mysterious.
fed to
Other
animals.
friends from the farm that didn't make it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not that. It's 100% grass fed. And so it's better for you because the animal is going to be healthy their whole life
Yeah.
and eating a proper diet.
Yeah.
Um, yes, it's grass fed. So I'm glad you brought up marbling. It is going
Yeah.
to be a little bit leaner.
Yeah.
And certain times of year are our kind of like a dialed times of year. And we are working with our producers to supplement to keep that a little bit more consistent throughout
Yeah.
the year, but also maintaining that diet for the animal
Yeah.
because we don't want to mess with with their carb to protein ratio.
Yeah.
Of,
And
of
they're
course.
tastier that way too. That's what I do.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
also I saw on your shred of like shoes, like you're using the whole
Yeah.
animal basically. So tell us about that, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're
We
using all of it.
we're
Yeah.
really thrilled about that. We have two hide buyers now and
That's
one
amazing.
in Berlin. And that's really exciting. They're doing a regenerative boot, and my husband and brother and one of our sales team guys is wearing them. It's really cool to see. And then another company that's buying our hides to make bags, and it's just awesome because, like I mentioned in my post that I put, that's part of the drop at the harvest facility. And so to get those in a stream where someone really cares about the hide and they really care about where it's coming from is
Yeah.
just, it warms our heart.
Yeah, absolutely. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. And
Yeah.
so, what's your favorite meat that you guys sell?
Okay, I'm a brisket lover
Yeah.
personally, but obviously filet. I mean,
Yeah.
filet is just
Yeah.
the bomb all the
Delicious.
time. But
Yeah.
I love brisket, smoking it, slow cooking it. I think
Yeah.
we awesome brisket. We also do corned beef during the season.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
so that is always my favorite. We also do a small pork program. We are running
Oh.
we are running pigs in trees and in the sagebrush and basically in areas that the cattle can't run, and using
Okay.
them as a tool to clear land. And we can go back in behind them and seed and basically repopulate those areas with grasses. And then we'll bring in the cattle, like 2 years later once everything
Wow.
comes back, and have
Yeah.
more pasture. So we're
Wow.
doing that program. We're slowly building it, but that's another uh, protein source that we're working on right now.
That's so fun. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, have you seen a lot of growth in the company over the last couple of years since you've, yeah.
Yeah, well, as with everyone, the last couple of years
Yeah.
have been crazy.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm. But more
we
and more
had,
people are ordering their meat online. So
well,
that's
yeah, and now we're dealing with shortages on boxes and delays in shipping, and we need to upgrade all of our packaging, and making sure our packaging can stay cold longer because there's dry ice
the
shortages.
delays.
So
I know.
it just kind of never ends, but we're thrilled that more people are learning about our product, and
Yeah.
we're starting to open up shipping across the US. So that's how we got
Right.
stuff to you. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so the growth has been great, and the interest in the market is really strong right now.
Yes.
And regenerative is becoming a thing that people know about, and we're just thrilled.
So, and that's the other thing too of like, so a typical farm that's just grass fed but not regenerative,
Mm-hmm.
you're like a step above that, or maybe
We
a
would
few
like
steps above that.
that.
Yeah.
We would like
Yeah.
to think that, yes.
Yeah.
Because what it really means is we're paying attention to the
The
land and
whole
what it's like.
ecosystem, basically.
Yeah, the
Right.
whole ecosystem. Because you can be grass fed and be in a feedlot. You're just
Yeah.
feeding grass in a feedlot. So labels definitely are important. As a farmer, labels are hard to maintain and
Yes.
are kind of tough, but in the marketplace, they're very necessary.
Yes.
So as we always say, but yeah, it's just, sorry,
No,
I'm
it's okay.
plugging in my phone. I don't want it to
Yeah.
die in the middle of this conversation. But yeah, you have to really look at what your meat is saying and claiming, because you can be a grass-fed feedlot, and
So how do
uh,
we know? How do we know if it's grass fed feedlot?
you don't.
Yeah.
That
So
is
what
why
should it say? Like, what
that's
is a
why a lot of
good?
people reach out to us.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll say pasture raised, but
Right.
sometimes it won't. Um, Organic doesn't mean it's grass fed, so it needs to be organic grass fed. But that also doesn't mean it wasn't in a feedlot either.
Yeah.
So a
Yeah.
lot of the time there'll be a website either on the back of the package that you can
Yeah.
look up, or you can reach out to the company directly. But Pasture-Raised, we have American Grass-Fed Association. That's our certification, and
Right.
they are a no confinement certification.
Wow.
Another
Okay.
one is American, or what is it called? AWA is another one, and all the welfare, like animal welfare and certified humane. Most of those are non-confinement.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys can check out the Richard's grass fed beef if you just go to aimeeapproved.com/beef. And we've been, so I mean, I'll overshare too, but I've been I've been using Butcher Box for years, right? That's where I was always getting my meat. And then you guys sent us meat. And then there's another company out in California, Pasture Bird. He'd sent us
Mm-hmm.
some chickens. And I was like, so we slowly made the switch. We're still getting some Butcher Box, but
Right.
we're making the switch to you guys, because even my husband, like, he's the meat guy, and he's like, this is amazing. Like it just he thinks the
Oh,
steaks are better than Butcher Box, like from a taste perspective. And then he smokes brisket, you know, pork butt. I mean, all the things, you know.
I
And
love it. That's
yeah,
such wonderful news to hear. Butcher Box is a good program.
yeah,
They're doing what they can. They grew really fast. But
yeah,
yeah, we appreciate your support, honestly. Everybody's
yeah,
support in the wellness community because we want to really raise something that's healthy and
yeah.
we want people like you guys to support us because you want people to eat healthy in
That's
your
it.
yeah.
And we see the difference. Like you know, the omega 3 to 6 ratio is massive for like I deal with a lot of women trying to get pregnant, and
Hmm.
we see in the research that if you get their ratio
Hmm.
lower, like most people have a ton of 6 and very little 3. If you get the ratio below a 10 to 1 ratio, pregnancy outcomes quadruple,
Oh, that's amazing.
and it's amazing. It's amazing. So just that one thing, but basically what it's a huge thing you're doing though. You're lowering like these, you know, inflammatory, these, you know, a pro-inflammatory omega 6s and increasing the anti-inflammatory omega 3s, but eating quality meat that has the right ratios too and the right balance because they're not eating crap
Exactly.
it's a huge piece of it because people will say to me like, oh, I can't really get, you know, organic grass-fed meat, and I'm like, then don't eat meat. Then I don't think you should be eating commercially farmed meat. Sorry, like that's a no. It's a hell no. These are your options, and if you can get them, then that's what you should be eating. Because the meat in this country that is commercially farmed is pretty toxic for us, you know, and no bueno for
Unfortunately,
hormones. Yeah,
yeah,
you know.
that is true. So
So we
yeah,
appreciate what you are doing and your passion, and I love that it's a family business too. That's nice, you know. It's nice to support that.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, everybody, you guys should go check out aimeeapproved.com/beef and check out. You guys have your what is it? Your burger bundle or what was that on the sign
Yeah,
once
we're
again?
doing a
Yeah.
burger bundle right now. It's our burgers and our hot dogs. They're bone broth hot dogs, so they don't have any nitrates.
Oh my
They're
God, I'm gonna
super
order those right
good.
now.
Yeah, they're the bomb, and our kids love them. All the kids eat
Yes,
them, and we can be happy serving them and not worry.
about
Um,
anything. That's great.
so the burger box has burgers and hot dogs, and then it has gluten-free buns from Sun Oven, which is an amazing company, and they go together just great, and they're delicious buns even by themselves without the burger as a sandwich.
Amazing. I love
Yeah,
it. Okay. I
yeah.
I'm gonna order some now. All right.
Nice.
So anything else you want to share with us about Richard's grass-fed beef? I feel
You
like this
know,
was highly informative. Yeah.
we're just thrilled to be connecting with people like you that they're trying to help people get healthy.
Mhm.
We believe we're raising our animals the right way, and there's lots and lots of more people changing the way they manage and doing
Yeah.
more of a holistic regenerative approach. And we think it's the answer to move forward.
Yeah.
Um, if anyone wants to sign up for our newsletter, we always do specials during the holidays. We're gonna do prime rib roasts and all those fun
Ooh, I
things.
love it.
And
Yeah.
we're really worried about shipping and supply chain, so please
So
order
order
early.
early.
So
Order today for Christmas.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And then yeah, if it's your first order, you get 15% off. So
Amazing. Okay. I
yeah,
love it.
we're just we're just excited that you guys are supporting us, supporting people like Pasture Bird. They're amazing as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I love talking. I mean, with him and with you too. It's like it's just so, you know, you guys are like out there, you know, ranching, doing
mhm.
this. I love it.
It
It's great.
rained by the way
Yeah.
last night
Yeah.
for the first time forever in California. So
Oh,
weird.
that's nice.
Today's
That's
a good
great.
day.
That's great. That's great. I'm happy. All right. Well, thank you. This has been so good. I'm gonna go order my burger bundle because my little guy does love hot dogs. Um,
Heck yeah.
and we love burgers.
Awesome.
So let's do it. Okay, it was so good talking to you, Carrie. Thank you so much.
You too. And
All right.
thank you everyone
Have a
for
great day.
watching.
And you guys go
Alrighty.
check out aimeeapproved.com/beef for awesome quality grass-fed beef and pork.
Love it.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.